Hey guys, how is it going right now? So I wanted to take a look at Bitcoin, but before we do that, I know I don't normally take a look at Bitcoin, guys, but it's leading the pack right now in terms of controlling what everyone is doing. So I wanted to get a really good idea of what it's doing. I'm invested in Ripple right now, right? And um and Ripple kind of follows Bitcoin all the time. I know I don't normally look at Bitcoin, or just coins in general that I don't trade. But the reason I'm doing it is because I would like to do a lot of technical analysis on coins that I don't trade as well. I want to expand into Bittrex and just a bunch of other exchanges that carries coins that Bitfinex doesn't have. And you know what? I want to blog a lot more on steemit, so I'd really appreciate it if you guys upvoted me on steemit. That would be awesome. So I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys Dash first of all. Okay, this is called an expanding diagonal. And look what ended up happening. That's how I was able to predict my Dash one, if you guys remember that. So it created an expanding diagonal with a really nice support baseline like that, right? Super awesome. Every time it just bounced off of it, and we have no reason to assume otherwise that it's not going to bounce off of it. And then it ended up breaking out of it heavily. And then it now is in this type of consolidation pattern right here. So that's a pretty cool pattern because it's easy to play, right? You know, it might break down. If it does, we just short it. If it breaks up, we buy into strength. Now, Bitcoin is on a tear right now as we speak. Where is Bitcoin on here for Bitfinex? There we go. USD, this is what we're looking at. So we're going to look at the weekly first of all. Actually, the daily is good. Nah, let's go to the weekly. Hold on. I think the daily would be better. I don't want to see that part yet. Okay. So this is what we see. We see a support line, right? Like that. Right here. This one's actually drawn terribly. It's supposed to be drawn from even over here. Like that, right? So if I actually drew it nicely, we also see an expanding diagonal, right? It's clear to see once we actually get just these points right here. Then eventually this trend line created a massive resistance, right? But it broke out of it, just like how Dash did. Or more like Dash broke out just like how Bitcoin did, right? And then after it did that, it's now forming a really nice support line right here. And now we draw our resistance line as well in here. Now you guys gotta be mindful that Bitcoin has gone through all of its phases right now, okay? I don't even know if it's on the fifth wave or not. I honestly could not even tell you. So maybe we should take a look at that, right guys? I think it is. It's about to break up. That's all I can say. This is consolidating right now nicely. So if we look at Fibonacci in general, right? It's retraced in general to all the way from the beginning of the breakout when it was like $352. This is the first massive one here. It's retraced between the 3.2 and 5.10 region. And for this specific wave alone, it's retraced to between the 0.5 and 618 region right now, right? So what I'm more focused on is the very short term for Bitcoin. So right here, I personally believe it is doing an A, B, C, D, E type of correction. So do you guys see how I'm drawing this support line right here? So Bitcoin is like at 13,800 right now. And I'm going to show you guys something that's been happening often to Bitcoin, where people have, if I played it, I definitely would have played it like that. Every time this pattern has occurred here, people have been watching it carefully, and they just short it every time it breaks downwards. There's one right there. So when you see a descending triangle, it generally breaks down every time on Bitcoin. You see a descending triangle here as well, and it breaks down. Right? Where do I see one next? I see one right here, unfortunately. Right? I see one right there, and then it always breaks down to the next support range. So for example, if this one broke, we'd be wondering, hey, where would it break down to next? Like what range? Right? This one right here, if that one broke down, we kind of had a support region right here, like right around this range, right? Sort of. Barely. So it definitely fell into there as well. So this became a fairly major support area for Bitcoin in here. And then because this one broke, people expected it to fall down to this region here as well, right? And now we got some massive, like, where's next region below those ones? It's kind of like all of this as a buy region. There's massive support regions here, right? It's probably not going to break out of, first of all, we got a massive trend line that acts as a support. So in order for it to break down to the lower region, like this is the lower regions, we're talking about to the 11Ks. We're talking to like, 11, 12Ks. It would have to break this support line here first. It's not likely that it's going to break it and go down to here, in my opinion. I think it's more likely to hit this zone right here, which will act as a strong buy very, very soon. Like this area right here. I mean, we look at all the indicators, guys. We look at here, it's like leveling off, right? Slow, not really, but it's getting there. 3-hour chart, it's definitely slowly leveling off here. Oh yeah, the 2-hour chart is definitely leveling off. We're getting a series, it's like just based on histogram. Yes, this one downticked heavily, but that's because Bitcoin is doing its final run, right? Big tick down here. So now we're basically waiting to see this buy zone right here is what people will be heavily waiting for. So as much as we want to see it go lower to the 11 to 12K ranges, or even the 8K ranges, I don't think it's going to happen, guys. I don't think it's going to happen. So here, crucial moment, guys. If we find support, basically between 13,000 to 13,500 is what I'm going to guess. Above 13 for sure. We might see like a wick poke there, but that's kind of like extreme case as well, in my opinion. We will find support here. I just cannot help but think that we will find support between 13,000 and 14K here, and then it's just going to bounce around this support line, the trend line, and then we'll eventually make our way to make an A, B, C, D, E pattern, which is very, very, very common. A, B, C, D, and E, like this. Yeah, I guess we can call this, actually, let's go to a 1 day. A, B, C, D, and E. Whoops, I'm not sure why that did that. And then after it does the A, B, C, D, E type of consolidation, it will break. This is a symmetric triangle, So it could honestly break down. It could very, very well break down if the market sentiment is that strong, right? So do you guys see Bitcoin just falling right now? It's falling hard. Every other coin is like just following it, like pansies. That's what they do. So, yeah. I mean, we look at the 1 minute chart for Bitcoin right now just to see where we stand in this exact moment. It's severely oversold, right? We look on the 3 minute chart, severely oversold as well. Look on the 5 minute chart, oversold. It's getting there. So I'm waiting, guys. I'm waiting because when Bitcoin reaches, for example, the lower ranges right now of being oversold, that's when I'll start accumulating more of my altcoins, such as Ripple, right? Because when that happens, then yeah, eventually it's going to bounce, and I do think that it's going to reach around the $16,000 ranges if it bounces and holds here. So this is quite a test right now in this range. So all the Elliott wave counts are done right now from the waves 1 to 5 going up. We are in a big consolidation phase right here still. And we'll worry about what it's going to do in the future, right? When it gets closer to the end. What's important right now is making it through this consolidation phase first and foremost. So every time we just keep adjusting it, we just keep drawing it differently as well. I think I'm doing a fairly poor job. Something like that, right? It looks definitely presentable, right? So if that breaks, once again, guys, if this region breaks under 13K, you guys have to remember this. If it breaks under 13K, we can be looking at a descending triangle, right? And a descending triangle, and then we'll be testing the lower support ranges between, between these regions here. So that's crucial to remember as well. And this kind of acted as a support / resistance area all the way, like kind of a little bit in this region, but I would not count on it at all. And worst case scenario, people are saying this over here, worst case scenario that it falls down to the 8K ranges, back down to this support region, right? And then it ends up forming like a flag instead, type of consolidation. So at this point, it's just guessing what pattern it's going to form. Is it this symmetric, triangle? This wedge right there? Is it that one? Is it going to break out of this buy zone, right? And then land into one of these buy zones at the very bottom to make a descending triangle, right? Is it, and then it's going to finish a descending triangle pattern and then break down to maybe make a flag, or what? You know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of things to consider right now, and it's just guessing at this point, to be quite honest, what it's going to do. But just based on what I see right now is, yes, I do see a slope down here, and yes, I do see a possibility for a flag pattern right now. And I also see a major support line that's going upwards right here, sloped, right? And that's why it's testing right here, right now as we speak, in this extremely oversold condition on most time frames, right? So how much lower can it possibly go right now is the question. So yeah, this test is being made in this region right now, guys. Between 13 to 14K, it's going to be tested, in my opinion. It's going to be tested so heavily. And if it does bounce, guys, if it does bounce, expect to see possible, like right now, based on what I see, 16,000 plus is what I'm going to predict, okay? And then after that, it's going to make another touchdown here to 14K again, and then once it does that, it's going to decide, the market will decide whether it goes up or whether it goes down. Obviously, it's a very bullish market in general, on the weekly chart, if you were holding Bitcoin since, you know, like $700-800, you would have absolutely no reason to be selling your Bitcoin at all, because it's extremely bullish. Yes, this curve, this parabolic curve is now becoming more of an S shape, but that's because we're in a consolidation phase, and we have been for a while now, right? We have been in the consolidation phase since December 17 or 18. And you guys have to remember that what goes up very strong must come down eventually, right? It will come down eventually over time, and that is just the nature of things. But just doing some ridiculous extrapolation, guys, you know, on what it got down to, God, you guys are gonna hate me for saying this. I mean, we could be looking at a minimum target of $25,000 by the end of this year for sure. So, yes, right. But you guys heard me right, $25,000. But first of all, we want to figure out what is going to happen right now, in here, in this moment of time, guys. What is going to happen? Okay. So I'm hoping for a bounce very soon. So yeah, so other than that, that is where we stand. We are in this buy zone. If it breaks, we will fall down even lower. We will fall down even lower right here. Okay, give me a second, I'll be right back actually. Okay, I just wanted to give it a little bit of time here, okay? And I wanted to go for a quick cigarette there as well. So yeah, so if you guys noticed on Bitcoin, there was a rush of buyers that came in, right? Tons of buyers that ended up saving the day at 13.5. And I don't know if it's the end yet or not, but yeah, we gotta give it to the fact that everything is in very oversold conditions right now, and I will expect a bounce very soon. It's just a matter of when, guys. This wick as well rejected like 13,394, rejected it by like $200-300, which is a significant amount. So once again, I'm going to reiterate very quickly. I know I have a few times already. We are in dangerously oversold conditions right now. Excuse me, right now already. And it's just a matter of figuring out where the bottom is. And the bottom is, there's a likely chance that it could be in this buy zone, right? But if it's not there, then it might fall to this blue line where it could make a new buy zone between $11,000 to $12,000, right? If this holds here, we might get a few wicks that'll poke down. Who knows? Who knows? It could poke down to there. So this is going to become a critical support point above $11,000. If it falls below $8,000, if it falls below, for example, this region doesn't hold, it will fall, guys. It will fall to the lower to middle of the 12K range. If that doesn't hold, then it will fall to the 11K range. And if that doesn't hold, we will see, like, I don't know, we could see 8 to 10K ranges, guys. So let's all hope that this holds here for now. It's impossible to predict. All that we should be practicing as a technical analyst and as a trader especially is trying to look at everything from different angles. If we look at everything from different angles, then there's no surprise, guys. There's no surprise, and we are planning for a game. See trading as a strategy game. And once we see trading as a strategy game, we can plan for unforeseen circumstances, and it lets us manage our positions. So there's not really a lot of questions that need to be raised if we're in a bad situation, because the questions were already thought of and asked during the planning process, right? And the answers are, hey, there's a lot that we can do. So for example, right now, my play for Ripple is no different than really for Bitcoin, right? Like, I mean, I got into a position around right here for Ripple, and then I rode it up to there, sold it, and I went into a long position here, right around there, but it broke down, but I added more to my position, doubled up right now. So my base range is near the middle right now, and that's what a lot of people are most likely doing, because we're in very oversold and scary oversold conditions right now. Some people may not want to cut their losses. They may not want to cut their losses, because if they manage it properly and just do the math to get a better base price and average it out, then there's a good chance that they might actually be very, very profitable instead, right? Because we could get a huge bounce And that's kind of in the position that I'm in right now with Ripple, right? My base price is now around 168, which is pretty awesome. My stop loss is 160, but do I really want it to be 160? I mean, I can lower my stop loss now that I've got a better base price, right? So that's usually the idea of it as well, just to manage your risk there. So here we are just free falling, right? I mean, if you guys take a look at this one, we free fell, found support, then free fell here. So this one looks like it's about to fall right here as well. And I do think we're going to find support around this range right here. So hang tight, guys. Be extremely, extremely patient. Make sure you are watching Bitcoin frantically and religiously, okay? Sorry to bring religion into this. It's just a joke. But make sure you're watching it very, very carefully. Make sure you're looking for like a rounding off of the histogram especially, right? And the MACD breaking up much higher than here. And once you guys, if you guys catch your altcoins at the Bitcoin low, if it does bounce around this region right here, then and you ride your alts while Bitcoin rides to the 16K regions, then what'll end up happening is you guys will be very, very profitable right now. It's really good to catch alts. They're very, very cheap right now. If you guys have noticed, they're all in a similar type of cycle, and because they're all in a similar cycle, dictated by Bitcoin, right? So what every other coin does, it's controlled by Bitcoin. So I hope you guys get in on it. I'm watching it like a hawk right now, guys. I'm watching this coin and OMG go like a hawk right now, and I cannot wait to buy into it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely give me an upvote on steemit. Check it out on sorry, like, subscribe, share, upvote, etc. on YouTube and on Twitter, right? And if you guys especially loved it, you know my little doggy Luna, the one that howls in some videos, she's got her own little cryptocurrency piggy bank. You guys are welcome to donate to that, but don't ever feel obligated, please. I just keep it up there because some people have asked for it before, and I made a joke that my dog's an alcoholic, and I should be joking about that because it's no joke, but I just joke about how my dog Luna likes to drink tequila and vodka, so all the money for crypto goes towards her. Anyways, thanks for watching this update, guys, and just a quick summary. Buy zone somewhere in here. If it holds, okay, and just ride it to finish off this pattern. And then we're going to get to an E, around 14K again, and then eventually we're going to break out up or down. That is all I can predict for Bitcoin for the short term, because that is all that matters for now. Okay, have yourselves a great day, guys, and thanks for watching. See you.